We join the super legit crew and guest as they talk aspirational financial goals. Yeah, I mean, eventually when we can actually bring in money, I would love to pay our guests because I think that's a very nice thing to do that demonstrates.
I'd love to pay ourselves.
I was
After my heavy
kidding.
gambling debts first.
Well,
yes.
You've also got 2 kids. You shouldn't kid about that. Let's give you money.
No, Rebecca. You're saying what we were all thinking.
No, I mean, it's Saturday night. I could be breastfeeding
This
right
is true.
now.
Thank you. Who wouldn't?
For money.
The goal is to pay everyone who's on the show 10 interns.
Oh, fuck you, Sharna.
I just dropped so much on swag. Now I got to send this out.
And legit coin. Everyone gets legit coin. Yes.
I love it.
Right. I got a text about that.
Yeah.
With millions.
This isn't fun anymore.
All right.
Let's go ahead and not make
We
me the
got the episode
co-host. Can
title.
we start not making me the co-host, please?
Hey, did I come in after the point when it was fun? I missed that whole time.
Oh, son of
It was last week,
All
homie.
right.
It was last week.
It's a short launch window.
Welcome back to another episode of Super Legit Podcast. I'm your host, Jet Kaufman, and as always, I'm surrounded by some of my favorite people. Let's run through them real quick. We've got Jen Burton, we've got Sean Michael Boozer, Josh Spence,
Third place, okay.
Chris Compton, Chris Sanders, Stephen C. James,
That's me.
and this week's special guest.
Drum roll, but not really.
Drum roll, please. Okay, thank you. God,
Insert
you
sound
guys are usually better at this. Rebecca Stevens! Yay! Hey, Rebecca.
I think the drum roll drowned out my name.
Yeah, and I was
I'll
gonna,
back
I
it
didn't
up.
contribute
Yeah.
to the drums
Okay.
because there was so much interference with all these different drums.
There's
happening
a lot of drums, guys.
But also,
Yeah.
Rebecca really wants to hear her name again on this podcast, so this time, everyone quiet.
All right.
Rebecca Stevens!
Oh,
Stevens.
That was just for you.
Are we going to edit that
Oh,
out?
it feels so
I'm
good.
glad we finally figured out a way to insert sound effects into a podcast.
It's the old-fashioned way.
45 episodes in, we finally got it, guys.
I'm glad we hired that guy from public radio.
It's so good to see you, Rebecca. Some of us have a long history from you from the LA improv scene and
But do the rest
bar
of you
at
have?
IO.
Oh, okay. Like some of you guys and some of us have this sort of what are the histories that everyone has with me?
That's a good question. Yes. I mean, has anyone here not met Rebecca before? Because I was just making assumptions.
Well, you know who doesn't
Jen.
have the history with Jen, with anybody here today, actually? It's Michael Heiman, because Michael Heiman is not here today.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So,
Valid.
And I should so Michael Heiman, of course, for those who know our show and for those who don't, is our co-host. And once
he's not
again,
here.
he is absent. He is at yet another wedding, still not his.
So,
I'm just going to say that because
is somebody going to fill in for him as a co-host?
someone should
so
fill in for him.
Someone
great
does
idea.
need to take his place, which means, and of course, there's
Supply
rules.
and
There's rules
demand,
around
baby.
picking a replacement
Aren't
for
we-
Michael Heiman.
Aren't we on the S's alphabetically for who gets to be co-host? Aren't we in the S's?
We
are.
I think we
so.
are.
We go
Yes.
by last name.
Everything's
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spence House. Let's do
It
this.
should be.
So
yeah,
Stevens, do you guys just want me to step up and be the co-host? I mean,
What?
Oh my
Are you
God,
offering?
that's a great
Great
idea.
idea.
Are you
think
offering?
so.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic idea.
Oh, I love it.
course.
Okay.
Again?
I
There's
love
no
that.
other S's.
Oh,
All right. Yeah. No, we don't need to deliberate or anything.
It's like every episode we find a way for me to not
this
do that.
is why I didn't change my last name when I got married, just
Yeah.
for this moment, right here, right now.
Everything's coming up roses for you.
You were always a planner,
That's
Rebecca.
such an example of a gracious guest. Like, no one else wants to do it, and you just step in and take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Exactly.
Just complete
what-
vacancy, silence, no effort on anyone else's part. Is like, but you were like, no, I'm not just gonna take this.
This is a-
I
Really
appreciate
good
you letting me be the guest and let me offer my services.
Oh my
Rebecca,
god, so gracious.
as far as keeping your maiden
Congratulations,
name,
Rebecca.
my wife also did the same thing. And then a friend of hers let us all know how she felt about it one time when we were hanging out and referred to another person who did not do that as a gender traitor. She was like, yeah, she's like, she changed her name when she got married. Gender traitor. We're like, whoa.
Shots
Whoa.
fired.
I didn't do it because I'm lazy. Like, there's a lot of
It's a
paperwork.
lot of work. Yeah.
My wife
Truly.
didn't do it because her first name is Jen, and Jen James sounds a little porny.
Oh,
So, yeah.
yes.
That's true.
Well, my husband's
Jenna
last
James.
name is really hard to pronounce, and I have to always like spell it and like explain it to
His
people.
name is Bill, really hard to pronounce.
It's actually,
But seriously,
His last name is Bill, really hard to pronounce.
and people
But it's got like 4 umlauts in it. It's really weird.
and then people are like, "Is that all one word?" And I'm like, "Yes." And so it gets really hard for people. So I've just stuck with Stevens because the only question with Stevens is it with a V or a PH? And I'm like, I don't know. You pick. You tell me.
Roll them dice.
I saw Gender Trader warm up for Throbbing Gristle and Ministry 2001 at the Wiltern.
I loved their Leg of the Lilith Fair tour.
A lot of drum machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of drum issues.
A lot of drum machines.
And issues.
And issues from the drum machines.
Yeah.
That's how me and Stevens met.
Yeah, the drum issues they had was everybody in the band was trying to do the vocal drum roll, like brrr, at the same time, and it just got way too messy, and you couldn't hear the lyrics.
And someone was
of the
trying
song.
to announce the band, and like they couldn't hear the name of the band. Yeah,
Those Renaissance Fair techno bands are really terrible.
So we like to start these shows off with a big question and see who's got answers for it. So I'm going to throw this week's question out. It is, what's a life philosophy you grew up with that you completely flipped as an adult? And I'll let you take that as you will. Could be pretty serious. It could be fun and silly, but I'd love to hear what people've got for this. Wow, nothing.
Do we have to put a caveat and say besides Christianity, or
Because that's immediately where I
that's
went.
what mine is, Steve did.
It's usually the easy one. Josh, you've got your hand up. I am not surprised, but I would love to hear it because your answers are fun. Well, no, they're not always fun, but they are entertaining.
They're not fun. Okay. God, I feel so bad now. What happened?
No, sometimes they're the dark, brooding ones that really get us through the episode.
Thanks. Yeah, I will Venmo you all for the therapy. Sorry. Okay. The one I grew up with was the platitude of everything will sort itself out.
Oh,
just like, don't worry about it. Life's a journey. Everything will sort itself out. So being an only child and everything will sort itself out, I kind of had like life on easy mode for a very long time. And then, when it comes to like college and the real world, you realize, oh, hey, it doesn't sort itself out. You really have to try and apply yourself to life and, the things that you love and the things that you want to be good at. So I've learned the exact opposite, as I've grown. Actually, it's a funny story. I was thinking about the question. I've gone back into journalism, writing reviews and critiques and whatever. And recently, I actually had the opportunity to write the obit for Taylor Hawkins, which is a big deal to me as being a Foo Fighters fan. And I asked Steven, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to write this. It's off the cuff. Edit this for me. Tell me what you think. And he jumped up and said, yeah, of course. And then the notes I got back from him and my editor, they were both, this is fantastic. It made me shed a tear, which made me feel good. And I thought about it again of like, because I'm coming back into writing and kind of being apprehensive and trying to figure out what's working and what's not working. And rereading it, what really made it work was I committed to it. I really inserted myself and all of I had to put into the project, into that article, into it. And I think that's what makes the difference in just like a regular story versus a really good story is what you put into it. So, that's something I've definitely learned.
I would say, like, as the complicated philosophies of life, I think mine have whittled down to just that over time. Like, pretty much everything just filters into give a shit.
Yes.
And then, like, what are you doing? Have you tried giving a shit about it? But like, like that, life is never simple, but like that part is like, have you tried trying? Yeah. Is always a good starting point.
That seems like a lot of effort. I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds like something I would not be interested in, but it might work for you.
Yeah.
Good.
No, sometimes it does involve pants.
Yeah, it does.
Definitely not for me.
I'm done.
And actually, I would say not even have you tried trying. It's have you tried caring?
Yeah.
Because like that's the shit.
That's something I'm really good at. Caring but not trying.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a real thing where it's like, oh man, somebody should really do something about this. This is really, really important. And one day someone will. Yeah.
Super.
So, just hear me out on this. I've been working on it all night, but I think when we go into the presentation, it's going to work. Listen, 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and then a sesame.
I'm going to stop you right there. I start with 2 all beef patties, and then I feel like the rest will all just kind of work itself out.
Wait, are you suggesting that he starts at the top?
No. It's
Or starts in the
top.
middle?
What do you mean at the top? It's 2.
I think
She makes a good point. You're saying you start with the 2 all beef patties, so you're starting in the middle of the what's the support system?
No, you guys didn't think I'm saying put the patties on top.
I mean, that's the first thing that you did say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I assume that's what I'm looking at.
I wasn't suggesting he start with that. I was suggesting that whatever he started with, which the first words out of his mouth were 2 all beef patties.
I did say
you
that.
say
yes.
that, and then the rest will kind of work itself out. However, I hadn't accounted for the idea of this entropy that would create a sandwich that there is no bread, but instead 2 all beef patties.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're calling my Big Mac an entropy? I don't even know what that is.
I mean, Greg, I don't know about a Big Mac. It sounds to me like you're making a chaos burger. I mean, 2 all beef patties
Chaos
just
burger?
flopping around on the middle of the tray. What are we expecting the consumer to do with that? Get grease fingers?
See, hear me out here. I think we need to inject some ideas from the video game world, because video games are very popular. Technology is big. They do these things. They procedurally just worlds. I say we procedurally generate a burger. You know, the person just... You do some seed code. You have the person come in the restaurant. You say just punch in a bunch of random numbers, and then the machine will just generate something. It could be a burger. It could be a fish. It could be a couch.
I'd like to interject something from the philosophical world.
Sure.
At the core, at the very essence of what a burger, what a sandwich, it is the all beef. It's the meat, and so I think we do start with the core. What is this?
Thank you. We start with the beef. But a burger is not a sandwich. A burger is a burger, okay? Look, it's called the Big Mac. McDonald's.
This is not even a philosophical question. It is in fact a sandwich. You can look this up on Wikipedia.
It's not a chaos burger. It's not an entropy, whatever that is.
It is a sandwich.
No, it's a...
So I'm picturing, here's where I am. I'm picturing...
Yeah.
On the top, there's 2 all beef patties.
No!
And then special sauce.
Yeah, we've all got the same picture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lettuce, cheese.
No. Pickles, onions on it. No. I started off with the patties because that's...
Hi, I ordered a Big Mac, and you just gave me a bowl of slop, and I don't understand. I thought I was getting like a regular burger.
Did you see the special sauce?
Well, it looks like it's all special sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and the cashier said that it's some sort of computer generated burger that is just chosen by some sort of algorithm. And
yeah, man, what we have here is a complicated algorithm that uses machine learning algorithms to take your preferences and process it through a preference generation machine. If you look right here, this is based on Bernoulli's number, and what it does is it actually takes it and uses a recursive.
I'm starving, so if it's a Big Mac, I'm happy with whatever I mean, it's a Big Mac, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you want the concept of fries with that?
I do want fries, so yes, that'd be great.
Okay, I love this idea for a video game. I think it's fantastic. We have people just ordering food. I think it's great. I am in. I love it. 100% the best presentation I've ever seen.
And we call it Burger Time.
Legit.
I remember Burger Time well.
It's classic. It's a good game.
You know, Steven was saying earlier, like, he cares about stuff, but the follow through is the part that's rough. And I do, but here's the thing. Have you ever heard the idea of, like, if it's something that you're thinking about, keep thinking about it? Because at some point you will be inspired to take action. I mean, that's never happened for me personally, but that's the idea.
So here's my pushback on that, though. When is the last time you heard like some like Nobel Prize winner or, you know, some Supreme Court justice or some person who didn't slap somebody while accepting a trophy say like, you know what I did with my life? I thought about things for a real long time. And then eventually, right at the last minute, I got off my butt and I did something. And you know what? It kind of worked out.
No, that would be Socrates. And the only thing he ever did was drink that poison. He's like, I should have just kept thinking. That was my...
more like Hemlate.
Good old Socrates.
No, but I mean, I think the entire idea of Facebook is based on the idea that thinking about things excuses you from doing anything about them, right?
That's all social media and Twitter.
I liked it. What more can you want from me?
It's like I've said my case. If I've stated what I care about, that is in place of actually doing anything about the thing that I'm caring about. Because now doing something that you care about gets you no attention. And what we reward is the opinion of what should be done. We don't reward actual action.
You get no upvotes for actually doing it in real life.
Yeah.
This is what has plagued the Democratic Party since like 1982.
Yeah. Pre-internet.
By the way, 1982 was a very specific non-presidential election year.
But it was Reagan. But I'm like, Reagan was in office.
My birth year, and Reagan was in office. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Same, yeah.
Since Chris Sanders destroyed the Democratic Party.
And Reagan, it's not, most terrible things didn't happen the year a president was elected. It's usually in their term.
Super.
All right. It's me, Ted Kennedy. And I just wanted to point out there's this kid that's been born in Michigan. And I think it's up to us as a Democratic Party to start disappointing this kid. We've been on a good run. And I think it's time that we start really shitting the bed for this Chris Sanders kid.
When you say we've been on a good run, what specifically are you referring to? Because I'm looking back, like you didn't even understand fully the idea of carpool. So what is the good run?
Well, we have had control of Congress for several cycles now. And let's just make sure that within the next 12 years, by the time we get another Democratic president, we make sure we've only let the basest, most venal aspects of the opposing party step in to take our place.
Did you say
Governor
of
South Dakota here? So do you want me to head up the committee to hire a Terminator, if you were, or some type of robot to kill said kid in Michigan?
South Dakota. That is not exactly what I meant. I meant disappoint. Not
because I'm building a Skynet here. We can make it happen.
What if I'm just going to throw something out here? What if instead we just have the Lions suck forever? Would that be enough of a payback?
I feel like that's better than this idea that we go ahead and convert the secret robot lab we have inside of Mount Rushmore into some sort of killer assassin monster factory.
Look, Ted, I'm assuming this is me, Walter Mondale.
Go ahead, Tip. Yeah,
I'm not sure because I'm not able to tell myself apart from other people. I'm sort of like the idea of face blindness. But the point is, isn't it our job as Democrats to ensure that the people of the United States have an opportunity to take a chance at getting the ability to trying to do something by the year 2000.
All right, Walter, that's why that sort of mealy-mouthed, almost commitment to making a point is why I think you should be the next Democratic candidate for president. And I will say this, you will only beat Chris Sanders in that election by about 4 electoral votes.
Well, if I am me, I am excited to accept this honor.
Are we looking to have nothing but one-term presidents, just like our last president, Jimmy Carter? Is that what our goal is?
If we go for a two-termer, our next two-termer should be somebody who, after he leaves office, we all kind of feel dirty about him. You know, one of those things like the more we think about him, the more we think, geez, that was our guy. I think that should be our next two-termer. And then after that, we should get somebody to clean up things a bit, you know? Yeah.
Sorry, kid. The door was unlocked. What's going on? And hi, I'm Ron. Just wondering what you fine folks are doing in this part of my house.
Hey, Mr.
Well,
President.
we've had a passage into here for many years.
Quick, give him the jelly
we've
beans.
used this as a meeting room.
Oh,
here.
I'm.
Ron, have some of these jelly beans.
I get mixed up sometimes. Did you know Han Solo and Chewbacca are going to protect us from the Ruskins?
Yes, the Ruskins.
Yeah, indeed. The Ruskins.
Oh, just that way to the bedroom there, Ronnie.
Oh, okay. Tell Mary she's got a fine ass.
Yes, sir.
I feel honor bound to do this.
South Dakota, you were making a point before Ron walked in here. He's still in here, by the way. He's just walking into the corner over and over again.
I'll find my way out. These things just kind of work
It's an oval. How did he find the corner? It's an oval.
I feel like my Terminator idea kind of got swept under the rug. So this Chris Sanders kid, he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
What if we had like some Detroit robot cop or a RoboCop, if you will, serve and protect and find this kid and kill him?
South Dakota, I love that idea. That sort of technology isn't going to be able to be advanced until way into the future of 1994.
I will say, as Democrats, we feel that robot police union issues are a core part of our blue-collar constituency that helped us win several elections.
Walter, I swear to God, I love you so much. You're like if narcolepsy could put on a tie.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. What was I saying?
Good morning,
Legit.
America.
Legit.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I feel like I was watching the History Channel.
Right? All these
Ancient
current
aliens.
references.
I hope she was doing a good
I
way.
learned so much about democracy, America, RoboCop. Like, you guys, I was inspired.
That's what we do.
It was probably as accurate as the History Channel as well.
Yeah.
We almost got to the part where the aliens in Atlantis came in.
Yes.
We cut back. No.
I'm not saying aliens.
Jet, I wanted to go back to your question that you had asked everyone, because this might be my therapy session that I can share with you guys. So one thing that I was taught when I was younger that I don't follow anymore was to respect your elders. And I feel like it was something that my parents instilled in me, like, always respect your elders. Like, you know, just you bow down, whatever they need. And fuck your elders, because they should earn your respect. Like, nobody should just be given respect, regardless of their age.
Just because they survived a long time?
Yeah, and case in point, let me tell you about yesterday at the Vaughn's parking lot at Laurel Canyon.
Here it comes.
I have just shopped. Oh, it's also, 110 degrees in LA yesterday? Like, it was disgusting.
It's AC weather, for sure.
Yeah, so it's 3 p.m. I've done my shopping. I'm in my car, and I'm ready to pull out of the parking lot. And I look over, and I see a car to my right. Sorry, I don't know my rights and my lefts.
Check those hands.
Looking at my L.
So this is already not your fault.
Right.
Yes.
I look to my right, and I see a car coming. And so, like, I start to pull out, but then I stop. And then I hear, like, someone hit my back window.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, what? Well, first of all, I thought it was my groceries falling over, because I've got car seats. I don't stack things properly. And then this older lady comes to my passenger side window and knocks on it. And I'm like, fuck. But I roll it down, which she wasn't wearing a mask, so that was my fault.
Oh, yeah.
But I roll it down, and she's like, you almost hit me. And I said, oh my God, ma'am, I am so sorry. I apologize. I give it to her. I'm like, my fault. She yells at me. You should have looked where you were going. Why aren't you paying attention? What is wrong with you? And I was just like, no, fuck you. I didn't say that, but that's what I thought. Because I gave you the apology. Obviously, I didn't want to hit you. Like, I wasn't trying to hit you. I gave you the apology. So then after she yells at me, she starts to walk away. So I'm like, it's really hot out. And then, I go,
good comeback. Belated small talk is amazing.
And as she's still walking, but I can see her, I go, stay hydrated. She's still walking, so I go, take your medicine.
I like that. You should throw like the old person rhetoric back at her. I don't know where I am.
But I'm just like, just
where are the jelly beans?
Take the apology. Like, I didn't, like, it was such like a thing where I was like, why? Like, next time I'm not going to roll down my window. Like, next time I'm going to continue to reverse. Like, what the fuck?
Right,
like,
that's still you respecting your elders, though. I want to hear the version where Rebecca Stevens is like, listen here, you shriveled little bitch.
Oh,
you knock on my window again, I'm going to knock you to the ground.
Yes. See, all those thoughts I had while driving home, where I was like, oh, I should have said this, and I should have called her a cunt. Like, why didn't I say that?
Although, take your medicine unsolicited to an old person is basically calling them a cunt.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
What kind of medicine? But like maybe it's because I've worked in marketing. But another word for almost hit someone is didn't hit someone.
Right. Well, I should have been like, oh, and I missed you. Like, oh, so close.
Right.
Or
let's try it again.
Or is my car okay? Like, ooh.
Right. Yeah.
But no, but it was such a moment where I was like, why do I have to respect you? Like, again, she wasn't wearing the mask. So
I feel like if I hadn't already given up on respecting my elders, the economy did that for me. It's just look at, everything that the boomers did, and also look at, what most of the old people voted for. And I'm done.
But where I learned to not respect my elders is when I became older than people. And I'm like, oh, right, I deserve no respect whatsoever.
Right.
I know how dumb the people I went to high school with were, and now they're in charge of your lives. We're fucked. But you don't need to respect them. And I think the people who were older than me were friends with the people who were just as dumb as the people I was.
Yeah.
So yeah, like very clearly, like there was no secret to the adult world.
Yeah.
And you remember that moment clearly when you first strike that line of like, don't fuck with me. I remember having that fight with my dad. He was like, this is a Van Halen household. And I was like, I like Nine Inch Nails, Dad. This is who I am now. And we didn't talk for years about it. But, you got
that old cliche fight with your father.
that conversation happened in the year 2018.
He needs to know. He needs to know. Super.
Little Jimmy, come and sit on my lap. Grandma has a story to tell you.
All right, Granny.
Here's the thing. I know that you and your brothers and your little sister have been coming to me for advice, but I wanted to tell you a secret. I don't know shit. I don't know anything about anything. And the real secret is that no old person knows anything about. I don't know how I live this long. It's really some sort of a miracle or just a trick of the light, which doesn't even make sense. And I know that because I'm not bright. So whatever I have told you in the past, now that I'm getting old enough to die, just ignore it. And just you just do whatever is right for you.
I'm 7. Mommy said
I know, and you know more than I do.
That's I know that Bob the Builder, he says we can do it.
That's right, and I don't even know who the fuck that is. I mean, who is that? He's just one guy named Bob the Builder. What is that? I see you already know more than old Grandma.
He makes stuff. I don't know.
He builds. Oh, now I get it. I get it now.
Yeah, you get it. You're smart.
Grandma, well, actually, Mom, but we're going to call you Grandma because Jimmy just told me the conversation he had with you.
Yes?
Have you not been taking your medication?
I didn't even know I was on medication.
Oh, God. You see this little thing that says MTWTFSS?
Yes.
No, that's not. No, it's no.
I don't know what that means.
Mom.
What does that mean? No one. Look, I've been trying to explain to you that I know nothing, and nobody believes me.
All right.
He told you to take your medicine? He said that to you? That's the octogenarian version of the C word.
I know.
How dare he?
I think you should take up words against him and perhaps fight him to the death.
Well,
it's very insulting.
That's not the way we raised that boy.
I know. Can't I just die of natural causes without having some sort of medical intervention?
I mean, that's our God-given rights.
That's what... I mean, I'm not smart enough to make myself feel better or seek out help. Where would I go?
Nora!
Ma'am, I don't know how else to tell you this, but from all the tests, it appears you are modificus. That's medically disparate from simple sentences. In layman's terms, you don't really understand anything.
I've been trying to tell people this for years, and no one has believed me.
Well, I
finally have a name for it.
A doctor, yes, modificus.
My name is Nora, and I have modificus.
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 No, you added a D. Modificus.
Maybe you could write it down for me, and then I could just read it off a piece of paper.
Sure. I don't know if you can understand simple acronyms as a condition of modificus, but because it's sentences.
All right, Dad. Yes, I did tell her to take the medicine. I didn't call her a name. You know what? I'm tired of this. You know what? Ever since you came at me like, the Byrds is the greatest band ever, and I'm a Metallica man, and that's where it all stemmed from. And I am tired. Let's go, old man. Come at me.
Get in there.
Come on.
Fight him.
There's
fight on behalf of your wife.
Turn for me to kick your ass. Turn. Get over here, boy. Come on, lean in. Yeah. How you like that? I'm working the body. Yeah.
It feels like a gentle massage, Dad. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's the osteo. My hands.
I want to thank you all for coming here today for this group therapy.
I'm going to beat my dad's ass. I'm going to tell you that right now if he gets out of line.
Yep.
Not if I don't beat your ass first, you little shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys want family therapy? That's in the next room.
Oh, okay. Wrong room?
Yeah, this is group therapy.
I told you we were in the right place.
We're one hell of a group.
Well, I just realized that we all have gotten to a place where we are old enough to die, and I want us to express how we know that we are old enough to die. Like, what has happened in our lives that we realize that yes, we are old enough to die.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why won't he take me? I ask him every day, and the good Lord above doesn't see it fit to take me away.
Perhaps you are not yet old enough to die.
I'm 118 years old, and I hold the Guinness World Record.
For what?
Why won't he take me?
What?
Bob the Builder says you can do anything. If that's what you want, you can do it. Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
I learned that I was old enough to die when I gave away all my money to a nice man who called me on the phone.
Oh.
And he told me that my money was covered with poison. And so I needed to give it to him and take it to the poison reclamation. It has a stray as a Yuck. Mr. Yuck, his name was. Showed me his picture on a card. I assume he did. He was on the phone, of course. But that was the moment I said, I am not responsible enough to continue to consume oxygen. And so since then, I drank nothing but seawater.
Well, I realized I was old enough to die when my son decided that he wanted to fight me, his father. And I realized I was old enough to die because when I kill that little shit and they give me the chair, I will know that I deserved it.
Dad, I thought we were gonna come to some realization. I thought we were gonna come together, and you turned on me there. I thought we were gonna come to some understanding.
Listen, before you were born, I fell in love with your mother, and
I
that
remember.
woman Nora is the most beautiful woman I ever met in my life.
Okay, I know how the story ends.
Young thing.
No, please, you guys, no. La 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 la.
I remember just holding her face.
Would you shut down that racket?
And just putting my tongue all the way down her throat.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Excuse me. Is this Burgers Anonymous? Is this Burgers Anonymous Scoop Therapy? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna go see myself next door. Sorry.
Well, this has been great.
By the way, I was laughing so hard because I want to see Nora's PSA for
Oh my god!
I'm Nora, and oh my god!
Yo, can we give that to Heiman for an improvised ad next time?
Right?
Yeah.
You mean an actual ad, like the actual ad we're about to have, which Michael Heiman is not
His
here this
kayfabe
week,
ad,
as we've mentioned. So once again, he's given the advertisement to Chris Sanders to kick off for us.
Not his best friend Josh Spence. Okay.
I have that ad right here.
Great. Let's hear it.
Let me run the tape. What's up? I'm Trevor, native Norcalian and legendary surfer. Do you find yourself hitting that same mid-afternoon bummer wall? Like you should really keep shredding, but all your brains want to do is chill for real? No worries anymore, brothers. All you need is Orange Hawaii, the energy drink for Howlies. Ha! What's a Howlie? Look, I don't even know. What I do know is these drinks are the most supple energy drinks on the market. They have virtually no harmful additives, and I can get down with that for real. They're even approved by the FDA, FAA, FBI, and or the FCC. And on top of that, we even got world-famous superstar Jamie Presley to endorse Orange Hawaii. Hey, yo, Jamie, what you think of Orange Hawaii? What? Who are you? That's legit. Anyway, try Orange Hawaii. It'll make you feel more native Hawaiian than a humu humu nuku nuku apua'a. What? I said it.
And I believe you're supposed to type what legit in the promo code box, right, Jet?
Yeah. No, if you put according to my notes, if you put legit in the promo code box,
you waive all claims for future.
Right, yes.
That was it. Yes.
My favorite thing about drinking Orange Hawaii is that it really does, like, it lives up to the name because you turns your urine orange and it burns like it's coming out of a volcano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ever since they switched the word agent to Hawaii, it's been a much more successful product.
I could just like imagine the logo for Orange Hawaii and like the logo guy for Hawaiian Punch just having gang wars across all the islands.
Oh, and I pictured them having sex and creating a uniform.
That's called
child.
gang wars.
Oh,
that's called
is that what they call it in Hawaii? I don't speak Hawaiian.
Is this what that Facebook game was?
Yeah, no, you're right, Stevens. You're right.
Hey, what do orange and red make?
Red orange?
Red or orange?
Red orange.
Yeah, reddish orange.
It was brownish.
Rust?
No?
Rust?
Yeah.
Rust color?
Rust. That sounds right.
I spent a lot of time working with somebody who works with crayons. So it's definitely red orange. It's definitely red orange.
Yeah.
Orange.
I'm not saying I murdered a clown, but I can answer this question.
I was thinking about this. I know one of the things, it's a sillier one, but I grew up with a mother who was in the music industry. Like she worked for a lot of major rock bands. And like, so she had a really clear sense of music. And so like I grew up listening to a ton of, really great music. I mean, listening to Pink Floyd and like Canned Heat and like really eclectic wide range, ZZ Top and you name it. It was all this classic rock stuff and adjacent. And like it was my taste in music obviously was initially inspired by my mother, but my mother was, to her lack of awareness, pretty stuck up about music. Like there was good music and then there was everything else, and everything else was not. And so like pop music, for instance, was absolutely something like that was just garbage to her. It was overproduced trash. Electronic music was coming up and it's like, that's just noise. There's a lot of that stuff. And so I definitely held on to a lot of that attitude for a while as I approached music that was popular or liked by other people. And there came a time where I just kind of had to recognize that a lot of this quote unquote crap was really fun. And it didn't matter if it was perhaps overproduced, or it didn't matter what the instrumentation of it was, or what committee wrote it, or, you know, whatever the issues were behind it. If I was enjoying it, I don't care how legitimate it was. Josh, finger up. What have you got to say to that, Mr. Music?
Thank you. No, do you believe, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you believe Jet Kaufman believe
in love after love?
No, let me ask you this though. Do you believe in guilty pleasures? Is that a thing?
Yes, although I guess part of what I'm trying to come around to is the not feeling guilty part.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's kind of the thing. Is
we only get one life.
Yeah.
Drink orange
So there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, I mean, like this is garbage, but I like it. And if I can just get myself to go, or maybe I just like it and I can skip the first half of that sentence. And that's kind of where I'm ending up. And I think we've touched on some of this before too. But like if I just like
guilty pleasures.
What are my...
Or just straight pleasures.
Yes.
Yes. Straight, pleasures. Let's just say pleasures. Let's not normalize.
Let's not be a jerk about it.
Sorry, I just came across as a homophobe. I'm sorry.
God damn it, Steven.
All stuck up about the kinds of movies I watch and watch all this artsy stuff. And, you know, occasionally I do. But honestly, the only things my wife and I are going to the theaters to see are Marvel films, or, you know, a couple of us went and saw The Batman the other night. And you know what? They're fun. And I enjoy huge action films like that. And that's fine.
Is it cinema? Or is it a movie? You know, they're two different things.
What was that, Mr. Scorsese?
Yeah. Well, like, I think, dude, the reason people go to movies is because they're fun and you get to live another life for a little bit. But cinema is its own thing too. And there's but they're different, but they're both valid.
Yeah.
And to enjoy them, you don't owe anybody an apology.
Agreed. Yeah, and if you enjoy cinema, you're getting if you enjoy hyper artsy movie, you're getting the same feeling that somebody who's getting there, like getting super jazzed for Fast and the Furious 12. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you went and somebody flashed some lights in your face and you left with a smile on your face. Like, why get precious about it?
That's my kink.
Yeah. Not necessarily a smile on your face, because some of those movies, you know, you leave precious. You're not like, wow, that was fun. Yeah. That was fun. I like that they left it open for a sequel.
Yeah. I feel like cinema often is a movie that I'm like, this movie's amazing and I never need to see it again.
Yes,
exactly.
And the movies that I'm embarrassed at some of the movies that I have seen 5 or 6 times.
Let's hear it.
And it's purely because it puts my mind into a state of
embarrassed,
static.
You're fine.
Nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
This is the debate that we're in for 2 years.
I want suggestions. Let's get some titles. I need to turn my brain off.
I've seen Armageddon too many times. I don't even like Armageddon, but somehow I've seen it.
It's those 90s action films.
90s. That's
Armageddon,
so dead on.
The Rock, and Con Air.
I could probably watch The Italian Job more times than exists. Like The Italian Job, if it comes on television.
Yeah, The Italian Job. The
Face Off.
The 90s remake of it. Face Off is a brilliant film.
Yeah, The Fugitive I've seen which is actually a good movie. But I've seen that movie 15 times.
Harrison Ford's president run in Air Force One is ridiculous, but it's so fun.
Is it cinema? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. This is this type of thing. It's same in the sports world, and it's the same in geopolitics. Like it's the bad side of nationalism. Mm-hmm, that if you're not, we're confining we're making specific borders for things that really don't. All borders for anything are made up. They don't matter, and all they do is keep us from being one species, acting as one species. Or
so you've seen Independence Day?
Yes.
That actually talking 90s movies. I remember so clearly somebody getting super pretentious about Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah,
that period of the 90s.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Someone was pretentious about Tarantino.
But the point is,
I assume it was a single woman.
No, there's somebody with
some really nice feet.
Tarantino was the only arty enough filmmaker for him to watch, and you're but this is the other end of a garbage disposal. That's he's proud of that. He watches a bunch of crap and reprocesses it and put it out. And you're like, you're too good to be Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
Super.
Tyler, now that it's our third date, I think I need to be honest with you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, babe. Be honest. I like honesty.
I told you that my favorite movie was Love in the Time of Cholera.
Oh, yeah. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good movie.
I was lying to you. My favorite movie is Nuns on the Run.
Wait, is that the Eric Idle vehicle?
You could call it a vehicle. I called a masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
It got me through a lot of tough times, and it really made me who I am today.
Did you guys want another bloomin' nut?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're in the middle. No, I'll come back.
I'll come back. Something? Yeah, thanks.
Come back. Nuns on the Run, babe?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm still processing this.
I know. I'm sorry, Tyler. It's so much to take in.
How old were you when you first saw it?
It was on HBO over the summer. I think it was the summer of 91, maybe 92. I don't know. I was 10-ish, 24. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, this is a lot to take in, hon. Because, I thought we were going to be the kind of people who were, going to, our local independent art cinema. You know, the kind where they don't serve hot dogs, but they do have, wheat quinoa rolls. You know,
Cue an accordion player performing for them while they're trying to have this intimate moment.
Yeah, sorry, it's so loud in here.
Go ahead. Sir, if you could stop with the incessant polka, that would be fantastic. We're trying to have a serious discussion about, and there's no other way to say it, about betrayal.
No, I'm not. Tyler, that's why I wanted to tell you on our third date before we got too intimate. You had to know the truth about me. I am a Nuns on the Run fanatic.
Babe, the betrayal is all me. No, okay? I gotta say, I love Robbie Coltrane more than you could ever understand.
I never knew. I didn't know this about you.
When he showed up as Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies, I was the only person in the theater who just screamed out, oh my God, everybody, look, everybody, there he is. It's Robbie Coltrane.
So we're going to have to ask you to leave.
No.
This is a theater full of children,
but it's
and
Charlie
you are the
McManus.
only one disrupting
You don't understand. It's Charlie McManus of Nuns on the Run.
I don't understand that, sir, because I am only 17 years old.
Mommy, Charlie McManus, Mommy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's every 4 years. It's time for our Nuns on the Run's fun fanatic leadership change. Running for president this year of our fun fanatic, Rebecca Stevens, please.
Please stop with the applause. Okay. It was a summer, 91, 92. I'm not sure. And HBO was just playing Nuns on the Run over and over again. And
we love it when you tell the story.
Thank you. I will tell you the whole story. So
tell it slower.
So,
yeah,
that's a bass.
Now lick your lips a little bit.
Hey, cut it out, Slimy Gary.
Oh, all right, I'll go back in the back again.
Back off.
I just feel like this movie made me who I am today. I mean,
God, can you guys smell her hair too? It smells beautiful.
Thank you. It's Pantene. They were men who were nuns, and then they were running. I think that's all you need to know.
Yeah, no, we do know, but we love the way you tell it.
Yeah.
Tell it again.
Okay, so it was the summer.
When you're telling it this time, can you tell it like you're a little schoolgirl? Maybe doing jumping jacks a little bit?
Slimy Gary, ease back, yo.
Okay, I'm gonna go back in the back again. All right.
Sorry, go ahead, Rebecca. More nunning on the running.
I'm sorry. Do you need another bloomin'? Oh, you're in the middle of something. Oh, I'll come back.
By the way, I remember that summer of Nuns on the Run, and I watched that movie a lot too. That's why you said, I was like, oh yeah, Eric Idle, Robbie Coltrane. I still do the thing like when they do a thing where it's like they do the tits testicles while watch thing. I think.
Yeah.
I still,
That's the one thing I remember of that movie.
Yeah.
You know, did you know Francis Ford Coppola wrote the first draft of that screenplay?
No.
That's absolutely not true. You're correct.
Did Dolly Parton write it?
I think
it's true of Cop and a Half.
Yes. Anybody else have anything to throw into the answer box before we wrap this one up?
I have one that's kind of a continuation of what everybody else has talked about.
Sweet.
Like I was a firm believer in the idea of karma. Like things will come back to you. But karma is just a larger idea of fairness and fair. And fair and fairness is such a childish ideal. And like, oh, that's not fair. Like you hear kids say it all the time because things aren't. And it just, as you get older, you realize there is no fairness. And even the idea of karma, like, dude, there were so many dirtbags doing well that never seemed to pay for anything that's done in the past. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's no idea of fairness or, to make it even more real, justice in this world.
Just for like a split second, let's all just do a quick thought exercise. Let's imagine that karma and justice are real. And let's just all imagine that it happens to us within our lifetimes. And then everybody imagine what the last day of Donald Trump's life is going to be like. Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Wrong.
I do think Donald Trump pays daily for who because I think he's never felt the idea of love or being loved. True. But is that enough to like balance the scales and the idea of a karma?
No, because he doesn't know that he's not feeling
he doesn't
love.
know that he's missing.
Because he's such a narcissist that he's getting what he wants, which is attention.
I can't help but wonder if on some level he's miserable.
I think he.
Oh, I think he absolutely
I read an article about him that he reads in some article. The like one little note was he drinks like a 12-pack of Diet Coke a day.
Yeah.
So like, regardless of how he feels emotionally, he is a gigantic ball of gastric reflux.
Yes.
Which
he is nothing but stomach acid.
He's such a sweetheart when he doesn't drink Diet Coke.
Like, getting him off of Twitter wasn't the answer. Getting him off of Diet Coke would have made so many things better.
Sanka would save civilization here.
Jen, I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, I want to know what Jen was about to burst with something.
No, I really am not bursting with anything. Because my initial one...
Yeah, not enough Diet Coke.
No, it wasn't. Hawaiian. It was really it's not bursting with anything. Mine is really a play off of what Jet was saying about music, which is not as interesting as what Sean Michael was saying.
This preamble is great.
Thank you. Let me go on about my apologies.
Please tell us how bad your answer is going to be before you get it.
Can I start recording Jet?
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you record this conversation?
I really had this idea. It's related to the idea of pleasure versus sort of like educational reward. And I really love reading. Reading is, I love reading fiction. That's probably my favorite thing to do. I gotta go.
Slimy Gary, we told you.
Slimy Gary, stay in the back. I'm not going to say it slower.
No, don't put him in the back. You don't want him in the back.
But I became convinced that I could read every book in the library when I was a little kid. I really thought if I started at the A's, I would make it through. And like, I didn't do any calculation for more books coming out or any of that. And then I went through a phase, and then I realized one day that I would never be able to do that. And that was such a sad day to me, that I would never be able to read all of the books. And it still kind of bothers me, to be honest. But then, and then I went through a phase where I was like, well, I'm definitely going to read all the classics. And then I realized I was never going to be able to do that either, because classics are sadly very boring.
Mm-hmm.
They're many of them are very boring.
Oh, no one wants to Catcher in the Rye.
See, at least Catcher in the Rye is accessible. I tried to read a book called The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, which was read in like 17 something or 18, blah, blah, blah. And I got through like the first 100 pages, forcing my eyes to scan each word and try to like ingest them into my brain, because it became this task of like completion, which meant nothing to anyone.
You're better than me. I couldn't make it through the first hour of that audiobook. Somebody's like, "Oh, it's a classic. It's so good." It's just like, I know. Oh my god!
Well, why is it a classic then? Like, who voted on it to be a classic?
But that's exactly my philosophical change is exactly what you're saying, Rebecca, which is what I realized is that my experience of reading was totally personal, and that no one could ever tell me like, you're going to enjoy this because of X, Y reason. If it's won an award, if it's a classic, if somebody deems it something, and that I never have to read past the first 20 pages if I don't want to. And then I'm allowed to close the book and say, this isn't for me, and set it aside. And it took me forever to get to the point where I could put down a book and not finish it and go like, this is okay and a waste of my time.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I had a similar experience to that when I was a kid. I'm a nerd. I love reading too.
Interesting, because you called me a nerd.
I thought that was Gary.
Yeah. Was that like
isn't that the nerd calling the
solidarity
nerd?
Game recognized game.
Nerd on nerd violence.
A nerd knows a nerd.
Damn.
I know wherever I speak. But and so I used to go to the library once a week, and it was a big deal. I used to go Saturday and get like my 5 books or whatever, and I'd read. And I was really excited about it. And one time I got a book, and I was like, it was, and I was maybe like 5th or 6th grade, and I was like, it was horrific. I could not. It was so boring, and I was like, with a heart full of shame, I said to my mom, I'm like, I don't like this book. I can't read this book. And she's like, oh, that's okay. Sometimes you don't like books. And it was like, it was so weird because it had this thing on me, like it was my fault. I didn't like the book.
Yes.
And I think that's where you're coming from. Like
it's 100% that.
Yeah.
I had the same thing. I mean, as a kid, also like at library all the time, taking out books. And I think two experiences stood out to me. There was a book, the very first book ever, and I don't remember the name of it now, but like the book that was the book I couldn't finish reading. And it was just, I reached a point where it was like the logic of it was so bad. It just like, there was just the concepts. And I'm sure it was like a kid's sci-fi book. And it was just like,
sounds like are you sure it wasn't the Bible?
Right. Thank you. That was it.
Also did call it the first book ever.
Yes. I couldn't remember the author. It was God. But yeah, no, I felt
it was
so
in the
ashamed.
In the middle of the shelf somewhere.
That's right. Yeah. I felt so ashamed of myself for not being able to finish it. And then I reached a point where I was like, this is okay. But then the worst one slightly was I was so big into sci-fi, and Ursula K. Le Guin was such a well-respected sci-fi author. And I picked up one of her books as like, it's time to finally read this masterpiece. And I was probably like 2 chapters in before I was just so incredibly bored with it. And it's a very well-regarded book. I don't remember which one it is now because I gave up on it. But it was a case of, I felt like there's something wrong with me because this is a book that is clearly fantastic, and yet I am bored.
See, I will say actually one of my most satisfying reading experiences of all time is not reading the final page of The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, which is the worst. Like, I like just reading it, screaming at the book the whole time, and then getting to the very last page, and then closing the book as my way of saying, fuck you, I don't care about your book. Wow. And it was so satisfying.
Wow.
Super.
Hey, Timmy, if you don't want to finish your Chaos Burger, you don't have to.
But someone smarter than me made it. It must be good for me to eat. It was created by a computer algorithm.
Would you happen to believe if it was 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickled onions, and a sesame seed bun, wouldn't that scream Big Mac to you?
So wait, the patties are on the outside?
No! Legit!
And that brings us to the close of this week's episode. Thank you, as always, to Matt Walker for our intro and outro music.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
This episode was hosted and edited by me, Jet Kaufman, and co-hosted by our special guest, Rebecca Stevens.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was fun.
Every scene you heard today was improvised on the spot, along with some of the ads, with only a light touch of editing for your comfort. If you're loving what we're doing, please just pause real quick, write a 5-star review before you close the app, tell a friend about us, and then come back and listen to the rest. And always remember to spay and neuter your pets. Rebecca, thank you so much. It was so good to see you after all this time.
Thank you. I feel like I'm so rusty from doing any of this. All I've been doing is having babies, so thank you.
How can you possibly be rusty after giving birth twice?
Right.
I mean, not everything's rusty.
Yeah.
I sneeze and I pee myself.
There's the episode title, because this has not stopped recording.
And it's orange and red.
Two other side effects of Maleficus.
It just keeps going. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Josh, you got one more thing before we close this out?
Yeah. I'm actually really glad, Rebecca, that you came on. Like, for those who don't know, which I don't think any of you do except for Jet, we tried to do a podcast years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like 4 years ago, and we had
it was 2018, so it was 35 years ago.
Feels like Yep.
And I remember it,
which is crazy because we're all 34,
and I can play 18.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it's funny. I remember it things started falling apart, and Rebecca was like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna have kids, and I'm gonna get a graduate degree, so I can't do this podcast right now." And I was like, "God damn it! Why is she leaving?" And then she had kids and got a master's degree and getting all this great stuff, and I'm glad you finally got to come here. We have our favorite people on here, and I mean,
you're one of them.
I call you sister, you call me brother all the time. We love each other. I'm glad you finally got to be here. Well, it's like a full circle moment.
Thank you. And listen, I can't do this podcast anymore because I need to make $3 million and
I said I'd Venmo you.
Buy a house. I don't know. Whatever I said last time came true.
Always
Manifest it.
Keep getting the things. I'm manifesting.
And stop peeing when you sneeze. Yeah.
Never. It's fun. It's exciting. Oh.
That's the secret.
Well, that I think brings it to a close. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey.
Yeah,
Josh. Can I start recording now?
Hit that button.
Shit. Okay.
I don't believe anything's on all my time. I kicked the door on its hinges just so I could move on. Oh, 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 oh.
I had a but I don't remember. It was toward the beginning, but it was gonna be introducing some sort of scene in heaven or something, but my initiation was something in like a factory, and then I was going to reference the gender trading floor and see where that took us.
Nice.
But someone...
And we cut to that now.
I wish we would have had Slimy Gary on from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a great character to kick.
As soon as I started doing it, I'm like, I don't know if everybody else is going to be okay. I knew you would be, and I was like, this might come off really bad to nobody that doesn't know us. You know what I mean?
I think Slimy Gary's the only one who liked the audiobook for The Woman in White.
Thank
you. Good night.
He came with a very different idea of what this book is.
Yes.